was never at any point between August 2023, when distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan alleged to have been sexually harassed by the president of the 3 up until the day that we announced on this floor that we were referring the petition brought by distinguished Senator Yemi Adaramodu with respect to Senator Natasha's flagrant disobedience to the rules and regulations of this House, of this Senate, was referred to the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions. In other words, none of us was ever told about any, sexual harassment situation. I want that to be clear. Secondly, I also want to make it clear to the public that the issue before us, as of the time we refer this matter to the Ethics and Privileges Committee, had nothing to do with sexual harassment. And some of the critics who have said this Senate allowed Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Senate, to be a judge in his own cause and to preside over his own matter, need to be told, with all due respect, that the matter before us and on which Senator Godswill Akpabio presided over as the President of the Senate had to do with the motion that was referred to the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition. While we appreciate the concern of the public on this matter, I just want to emphasize that it is important that we also seek the understanding of the general public, that we were elected to serve the people. And we are guided, whatever we do in this chamber, we are guided by rules. And these our rules are also drawn pursuant to the Constitution of our country. So it's not a rule of men, it's a rule of law. It's not about some men trying to gang up against a woman or anybody. It's about ensuring that our rules are respected. That is the only way we can guarantee peace, we can guarantee law and order. That is the only way we can have an atmosphere in which we'll be able to do our job and serve the Nigerian people. Again, some of the critics have also said we have no right to even suspend a member of this parliament or this Senate. Again, I will leave that within the context of jurisprudence, as the courts will always speak to that. But it is very clear on our rules as to how far we can go. And we are not of the opinion that we are in breach of either the Constitution or any of our rules. Again, Section 60 of the Nigerian Constitution confers on this parliament the constitutional right to regulate its own procedure. And Section 1, subsection B of our rules book also makes it clear by reiterating that constitutional authority granted to us by Section 60 of our rule, of the Constitution, giving us the right to regulate our procedure. And suspension, as far as we are concerned, is the only alternative to the kind of anarchy that the nation witnessed in the past, where members of parliament had reasons to shout, to get physically engaged with each other, to engage in acts of violence, to tear each other's clothes, and, do all manners of things. We are moving, I thank God that we are moved away from that. It also shows that democracy is growing, not sent as it might appear to be. And if there are people who still have issues with whether or not we can even suspend an erring legislator who have refused or who is refusing to work within the rules, I believe, again, like I said, is for the court to continue to adjudicate, on that, unless the Constitution is amended, taking away the authority for us to regulate our own procedure. And then, of course, with respect to the question of whether or not we are to, follow our rules, let me emphasize that the seventh schedule to our Constitution, the seventh schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, is clear, and it contains the oath of office that we are all made to take before we assume office as senators. And in that oath, we all swore that we will uphold this Constitution, that we will make laws for the good governance of this country, and that we would also, in every step that we take, obey the rules and regulations of this Senate. We swore to that oath. And it is for this Senate as an institution to ensure that everybody abides by that oath. And again, outside of Nigeria or outside of this Senate, when it comes to our inter-parliamentary engagements, every one of those organizations, from Inter-Parliamentary Union to Commonwealth Parliament to African Union Parliament to ECOWAS Parliament, everyone is, run on the basis of rules and regulations drawn from the protocols establishing those organizations. And that was why the Inter-Parliamentary Union president, 2 days ago, after listening to our colleague, distinguished Senator Natasha, had to also go by their rule. One, that the issue that she raised was outside of the agenda of the meeting. Number two, having heard her, it will also be important to listen to the other side, because they are all guided by rules. And also, let me emphasize that Section 1, Sub 1 of the law establishing the Inter-Parliamentary Union itself makes it clear that membership of IPU shall be on the basis of national parliamentary organization. In other words, there are no individual members. It is parliaments of sovereign nations